moving on to our first segment for today. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received his Cypriot counterpart Nikos Christodoulidis, who arrived in Cairo on Wednesday. And this is his first visit to the region after his elections as president of Cyprus last February. To discuss the importance of this visit over the phone, we have Dr. Youmn Hamaki, professor of economics at Shams University. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Nash.
Good morning, doctor. So first of all, I'd like to shed the light of the importance or the significance of this visit.
Actually, this visit is quite important, taking into consideration nowadays the challenges confronting the world economy, generally speaking. We can witness severe polarization regarding economic powers in the world, and to how extent nowadays we need all countries to arrange their home and to arrange their relations, and specifically regional relations. And the Mediterranean and a partnership with Europe is gaining a very important momentum nowadays in order to address these challenges. From here it comes the importance of having such cooperation with Cyprus and Greece. And Egypt witnessed from 2014 several actions that have been taken in order to enhance cooperation regarding, exploration of gas and oil, as well as, intra-investment and intra-trade, enhancing intra-investment and intra-trade among the three countries, taking into consideration, whole Europe, since we have to admit that regarding our partnership with Europe as Egypt, we haven't, exploited in a good way this partnership. So nowadays we are revising, we are trying to maximize benefits from these relations on a win-win situation, and it is of great importance taking such challenges to enhance this cooperation.
Well, we're talking about such a cooperation in different fields. And if I'm going to talk more about the benefits, if we're talking about different sectors and its impact on the Egyptian economy.
Yes, Nashwa, you know quite well that Egypt nowadays is planning to attract foreign direct investment and to achieve structural reform so that to address the severe economic crisis, we need to enhance the role of our main sectors of the economy as a plan of government. The main sectors are the industrial, agricultural, and information technology. These nexus among the three sectors and the very large potentialities of Egypt. Nashwa, that we have been talking several times regarding our unexploited resources of mineral resources, and mega project had added, to these potentialities. So in Egypt, we have a lot of potentialities that for any investment to come and to transfer technology, to inject capital, and to find labor skills that can be quite, beneficial and productive for such projects. And I believe that what we need to address are the challenges confronting the environment of investment, and we are working hardly these days as government in cooperation with civil society to address these challenges. So Egypt has issued the Golden License. This is a new initiative in which the investors, new investors are coming and, trying to facilitate the admission for any starting business by multinationals or new investors. So we are trying to facilitate the environment of investment, and I believe that we have to concentrate on European investors, and because regarding the European economy, there are indeed need for such cooperation. The Mediterranean cooperation and partnership with Europe can gain momentum because they are avoiding illegal immigration. They can improve productive capacity for the European economies that are having nowadays severe economic challenges. So this is of the best of mutual benefit between Europe and Egypt. And I believe that starting by Mediterranean can gain momentum because the potentiality of more visibility, economic visibility of several industries, like you mentioned, we can concentrate regarding the Cyprus and Greece tripartite relations. We have a lot of to be mentioned regarding energy sector and renewable energy. We have a lot to be mentioned regarding tourism. And yesterday, one of the major topics that have been addressed is how to enhance tourism between the two countries, because we all know that Cyprus is attracting tourism quite well, and if we arrange with them, we can attract more tourism into Egypt, and Egypt nowadays quite, prepared to attract more and more tourism because of the infrastructure and the facilities nowadays, and very important, projects that have been done on top of them, the Greek Museum about to be, inaugurated soon. So all this, can be regarded as opportunities for investment for the mutual benefit.
If I'm talking about this visit and such a cooperation when it comes to the international level and the regional level, whether I'm talking about meetings and forums, when it comes to the European Union and also, the United Nations and all what is going on in the region, how do you see this power?
Actually, this power is quite important, but still, unfortunately, this power is polarized by other great powers. So what we need to do is to rearrange our interests, to how extent we can have our identity. We can look to our self-interest compared, and how we can make balanced relations with other countries of the world. Such polarization, as I mentioned, nowadays is taking quite momentum. We can see that the president of France and Germany are having nowadays a visit to China. We know quite well that there is a good relation between China and Russia. We need to, we need a mediation in order to find a solution for the Russian-Ukrainian war that affected seriously the whole world economy and making a type of uncertainty, a very high uncertainty for the world economy. And if we add to that what's happening for the American economy, a very high debt and a tendency from the whole world to go towards other currencies, like, instead of relying on the dollar as the main currency. So we have a lot of events, economic events nowadays, in which all countries of the world are looking to how extent they can avoid risks and try to find ways in order to rearrange their economic relations for achieving more certainty and to advance their countries. And in this actually atmosphere, we can see developing countries in a very critical situation, because they don't actually have technology, they don't have, they are suffering from severe indebtedness to developed countries, and this may create more and more uncertainties for the future of developing countries. And here we need quite well to refer to the international economic organizations like the World Bank and the IMF. When we look to this, to revise the role of international organizations, actually we are going to find another tendency toward Asian large organizations like the Belt and Road and the Asian Bank and the BRICS group. So all this, the world economy nowadays is witnessing, complete tendency towards polarization. And I believe that such cooperation with Mediterranean and for Egypt, I believe quite important to refer to regional integration because regional integration may add more opportunities regarding comparative advantage among these countries and enhancing investment, which may create opportunities of job for both sides and more potentialities for enhancing competitiveness. And I believe activating this kind of, economic agreements like what we have with the EU countries as partnership may play a significant role towards achieving this goal.
What other potentialities you can see among these two countries?
Actually, a lot of potentialities. We are not talking about economic side, but regarding political side too, you need to arrange, your priorities. You need to, arrange to how you can avoid these political risks. Nashwa, that this area, the Middle East, and after the Arab Spring, Arab countries nowadays are facing severe challenges. And I believe that nowadays we can witness a lot of challenges as well as a tendency towards changing, our roadmap, which means that you can witness lately that Saudi Arabia is having more approachment towards Iran. This is a very significant and strategic step. And I believe that for us as a Middle East, it's quite important to organize our, views regarding how to address our challenges, taking into consideration the main powers in the area of the Middle East and the Mediterranean. So we need to rearrange our relations with Iran, with Turkey, and to enhance our, Arab cooperation, because from my point of view, unless we concentrate on our Arab cooperation, not only from political side, but from economic side. And lately you can see that Egypt has done a lot regarding how to enhance industrial cooperation with Arab economies so that to complete comparative advantage and to enhance intra-investment among Arab countries. This tendency should be activated quite well, because without such cooperation, economic cooperation can lead to political cooperation. And this nowadays, you can see that our president is having several visits and receiving telephone calls from different Arab leaders in order to discuss these challenges and to try to find the ways how to harmonize our efforts towards how to address such challenges and risks. And this is actually quite important in this period so that we can, reduce such risks and avoid our people the tendency and the impact of such risks.
Hello?
Yes, I'm with you.
Right. I'm talking right now about after what is coming next after this important meeting. Because we always say, of course, this is an ongoing cooperation between both countries. And even if we are going to talk on the tripartite as well, whether we're talking about Greece, Cyprus, and Egypt. So what is next after this important visit, and what are the main steps to be adopted?
Actually, this is a very important question, Nashwa. Why? Because we are always, having the momentum during the visit of presidents into each other countries. And this is quite important. But what is more important is how to manage the decisions that have been taken, how to put it into ground, how to activate, how to monitor and evaluate the results from such visits. We shouldn't just wait for different visits on a periodical basis so that to activate activities. But we need to arrange ourselves, we need to put action plans in order to achieve the results. What we are looking for from such cooperation, we have a very important, topics to be addressed quite properly. We have the topic of energy. And nowadays, we are talking about how to arrange ourselves. We have the gas forum, the Mediterranean Gas Forum, in which we are trying to arrange how to exploit gas in a, cooperative way among the countries. And I believe that for this actually topic, we need to address liquefying gas in Egypt and how Egypt can be a provider of energy into Europe, not only from gas, but we can add renewable energy. Nowadays, we have in Maghreb, projects in order to support or to provide, renewable energy into Europe. So we have to address quite well these projects. How to activate that the Middle East and exploiting the partnership into having the Middle East and as a very important source of renewable energy to Europe. So this is a very important topic to be discussed and to be activated by mutual investment. And nowadays we started to activate green hydrogen projects in the Suez Canal area, and we succeeded to attract several projects in this field. So this can be regarded as a very important source for both parties to enhance investment and to support the European, the EU countries regarding, the support of or the supply of energy, taking into consideration what's happening nowadays. So this is a very important topic to be addressed and to be activated and to be monitored and evaluated in all ways so that we can reach significant results in the coming period. Other topics regarding how to enhance other investment in different fields in the industrial sector, like pharmaceuticals, like chemical projects, or food industries, ready-made clothes. Nowadays, we have a very good comparative advantage in that. So we need to open all these topics and to address them properly, so that our relations regarding trade and investment still minimal compared to the potentialities of doing that, and this is according to our studies as economists. So this is a very important topic. We have to work hard on that. We have to facilitate environment of investment, because still foreign investors are complaining from the environment of investment in Egypt. Still, we have a lot of challenges. We need to address such challenges properly enough so that we can attract more investors.
What about if it comes to trade exchange as well? Because this is another part that we talked about a lot before.
Yes, the tripartite relation witnessed significant improvement in trade relations during the last period, the last 5 years, according to these activities that have been done among the three countries. But still, from my point of view, are still very minimal compared to the potentialities. And Nashwa, very important relation between trade and investment. If you activate investment, this will affect to large extent the trade, because investment is the gateway towards enhancing trade. So we have to start by specifying which investment can be of mutual benefit, and contemplating comparative advantage among European countries and Egypt and the Mediterranean, and to activate this contemplating of comparative advantage, so that to create opportunities for investors and to promote such opportunities, so that we can attract more investors to come in the area, and to enhance our Arab economic relations, all this in one, because if you do that in a very harmonized way, this may be reflected quite well on more cooperation with the European side, and from my point of view, regional regional agreements and regional cooperation is gaining momentum nowadays, taking the challenges as I mentioned before. And this actually may present a very important way towards addressing the disruption in value chains that we witnessed after COVID-19.
Right. Dr. Youmn Hamaki, Professor of Economics at Shams University, always a pleasure having you with us on the show.